Welcome back once again to the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey, and we're going to talk some more girls basketball here with head coach Jason Reuter of the Bearettes, who just completed their season last week at the state tournament. And Coach, just going back, looking at that game, was a tough last-second loss to Lebanon on that final shot. We had the lead there. I think Carson Weber gave us the lead there, 16 seconds or so to go, something like that. And could have been playing for another goal ball, but the shots just wouldn't fall on a timely basis. We had to, even though we outshot them. But does that venue, we always talk about this, does the background, the backdrop on that goal and playing there have anything to do? Because they shot worse than we did. I mean, you look at the stat sheet, we had fewer turnovers, we had more steals, we shot a better percentage, they out-rebounded us, which was probably our downfall. We hit 10 out of 10 free throws. I mean, there's a lot of things we did on a very positive note just to come up a point shy. And
yeah, when you win, you don't tend to put things under a microscope like you do when you lose.
Yeah.
I try to tell our girls, I remind them probably at least once weekly, don't accept in victory what you would not accept in defeat.
Yeah,
and if we win that game by 1 point, we talk about, a missed. You're not talking a whole lot about the offensive rebounds. You're not talking a whole lot about what you thought was a controversial call or whatever. If you miss a shot at the buzzer and lose, you go through, everything goes through your mind. Mm-hmm. If you win, in 2019, I'm not thinking for the next 5 days about each individual play that we could have done right to not make us have to hit that last shot.
Right.
So it's human nature to do that. You win, you move on, and we lost by 1. We've been blessed. Yes, the venue, I think, I've been to, as a coach, I've been to 12 state tournaments, and I played in a couple in Kentucky, and I can tell you that, I can remember being a junior and playing in Rupp Arena. You've heard that name, Rupp Arena.
Yeah, a few times.
And you don't get to practice in those venues, and the first jump shot I took, I missed the rim by 3 feet. And I said, whoop, I better get a little closer. No more jump shots for me tonight. But, we had not shot in another venue since February the 11th. And that was at East Hampton.
We had a lot of home games, yeah.
That's just the way the format, we earned that right.
Yeah.
Because of the district tournament. And I think our last couple home games of the season were at Bradley, and then we went into the district tournament, then we went to region tournament, then you go to sub-state. And, we tried to get to UTC. They couldn't accommodate us because of COVID. We tried to go to Lee University. They could not accommodate us because of COVID. We tried Cleveland State. They could not accommodate us.
Just somewhere with a different look.
Just a different look. I was wanting the UTC McKenzie Arena for the depth, but it got to be a point where I would take any gym that was suitable. And we weren't able to pull that off. But like you said, we shot 28.2%. And I've been over there, Gary, and seen teams shoot lights out too. So people want to find. Yes, you ought to shoot. If you practice in that gym 4 or 5 times before the game, I would guarantee you that you would shoot on an average. You would shoot better than going over cold turkey. Mm-hmm. But Lebanon had the same opportunities that we did. So Lebanon shot 23.8. We shot 28.2. Those are both very low shooting percentages. But on the other hand, how many times are you going to see this? We were 10 for 10 from the foul line. They were 13 of 14. That's 23 out of 24 free throws. So there was some excellent shooting at the foul line. So I think the difference is just one. I'd like to say the rebounding. They had 14 offensive boards. We had 7. But they only had 8 second chance points. So I'm saying a lot of people don't understand what that means. That's you could have got the rebound and scored immediately, or you could take the ball out of bounds. 4 of those rebounds were ricochets. We were up 1 when they shot with about 10 or 12 seconds left, and the ball just glanced off our hand. If we get the rebound, we probably win the game. Mm-hmm. There's still going to be 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
But it's a game of inches.
Literally
inches. Inches and just one call and one rebound, one shot. Our kids, we we go in at halftime, very low scoring game. It reminded me of the 2019 game. You know, we went in down 14-9.
Mm-hmm.
But as low scoring as that was, you're only down 5. And I said, you know, I told our girls, let's regroup, let's get this thing, let's cut it down, let's come to the bench at the end of the third quarter, gaining ground, not losing ground. We came to the bench up 1. Mm-hmm. We're up 1. Yep. And they outscored us by 2 points in the fourth quarter. And gosh, it stings. I've heard coaches say I'd rather lose by 20 than lose by 1 or 2, but I've never been a believer in that. I think our kids really fought hard. You know, the worst, I feel bad for the seniors. They fought hard, and I don't know that, you know, obviously we've had Ryan Howards, I've had Brooke Copeland's, I've had my own daughters, Rebecca Reuter. I'm talking about kids that's went on and played at a higher level than Anna Mahoney is going to leave. I don't know that I've had a group that's been any more consistent. Those 4, Jemiah Williams, Kelsey Carmen, Anna Mahoney, and Ashton Estrada, I don't ever remember those kids coming in and having a bad lack of effort practice, ever, in 4 years. I don't ever remember them coming in and complaining. So there's a lot more to basketball than just basketball. These kids are going to be successful. I hope we had a little bit to do with it. This is a credit to their families. It's a credit to their teachers. It's a credit to our Bearettes program. Those 4 girls left their mark. They played, as you mentioned before, that's 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. And not many people can say that. And so I'm trying to dig up the good memories here. We talked about the ball game, but the you got to take the bad with the good. And we were 27-2. And as you can go ahead and see, if we'd have beat Lebanon, we could have very well won the state championship. We could have. Hardin County, on paper, it looks like we would have been favored, and then we would have, the way that it rolled out, we would have played Blackman, a team that we have beaten
at their place
by 5. But I'm sure they've improved since then. But what a season! Adversity. I was talking to someone yesterday via telephone for an interview. A guy called me, and he was asking about, all the adversity. And I said, in some weird way, I don't know that this year that the kids didn't grow a little tighter, even though we had the layoff.
Yeah.
It's almost like, through COVID, one thing that some people get up dreading to go to work. I got up knowing every day that I was going to get a bunch of girls that were going to give me their best effort for 2 hours. And that's refreshing in this day and time. That was the center point from November until last Thursday. The vocal point of every day that I got up was the Bearettes basketball team. And they were a pleasure to coach because they played hard and they did it the right way. Well,
and going back and sort of reviewing from day one, we were very skeptical. I was, and I think most everybody was. Are we going to have a season? Are we going to get to play? How many games we get to play? How many games are going to get canceled? And also, we lost several games, 3 or 4, especially early on, before people sort of figured things out. And then we got shut down, like a lot of folks did, for several, 3 weeks, I guess it was. But you look at the regular season, just looking, we lost that one game to Upperman on a hastily rescheduled game there that was never on our original schedule. And obviously, Upperman was one of the top teams in the entire state. A lot of people think they were one of the very best at any classification. Like you mentioned, we beat Blackman at their place early in the year. We knocked off the state runner-up in Division II twice, Knox Catholic. They finished runner-up in the state, and we beat them twice quite handily. And they're going to be a growing power, as we see. Meigs County went to state. We beat them twice. So you've played. Those are all non-district games. Of course, you swept the district. Again, went unbeaten in the district. You've won 97 straight district games going back to the 2014-15 season thing. There's a lot of very positive things come out. And these 4 seniors, like Jemiah Williams, she's a sort of an unsung hero, I call her, because she doesn't score a lot of points. She gives you max effort, and boy, she can play some lights-out defense when you ask her to. And she's speed and quickness, and she just is a pest on the court to the other team, I guess, but boy, and she's always got that smile on her face, always a good kid and well loved around here, and you're going to miss her. And Ashton Estrada, she didn't start many games at all, and she was one of your bigs that came in and gave it maximum effort for you there. She's got a scholarship. She's going to Brighton to play basketball.
Yeah.
Kelsey Carmen, you saw her play all these years. She's another that worked her tail off, get out there, and she could shoot the 3-ball for us. Anna Mahoney, the beast inside, she's going to Leon, and Kelsey's going to play
Covenant,
college, Covenant.
Yeah.
And then Anna Mahoney, of course, you mentioned she's going to Lee to play basketball. Well, what else could you expect from her? I mean, she was your stopper for the big girl inside, and she could put the best defense on anybody. One of the best we've had in a while as far as shutting down a big guy inside. But those 4 seniors, we're going to miss them. Every year we talk about the seniors you're going to miss, and they're always a special group. But life goes on. You've got to just, you're going to have things going on, and
I've
new players coming in every
year. I've noticed a trend in life. The people that are the winners and successful people, I've noticed something. They keep moving. Mm-hmm. They keep moving. If you're looking in the back, talking about the past all the time, then you're probably not going anywhere. We got to keep moving. I don't know how I'm going to replace those 4. 3 of them started. Right now I'm scratching my head. I do this, but you may say, Coach, you do this every year. Like, the rate that we're winning at 90%, that is probably not going to last. Let's be honest. We're not going to be on top all the time.
Now, wait a minute, Coach. We need to think this thing through here.
Well, I'm just saying, you look back in the history books.
It goes in cycles, but you're in an up cycle right now.
Yeah, but I don't want it to end under my watch.
Yeah.
And I'm not planning on going anywhere for a while, so I still enjoy coaching. And, I plan on, we had a quick meeting after school yesterday, and we're already making our plans about take a couple weeks off, and we'll start back in the weight room and open gym. And majority, 90% of my girls are going to be playing on some type of travel ball team. And we'll start practice back in the last week of school. We'll start official practice, and we'll go on through June the 26th is when the dead period starts. Mm-hmm. And then they get a couple weeks off, and then we'll come back in July. And, some people say you go year-round. We don't really go year-round, but we probably are doing something 10 months. When you put it all together, 10 out of the 12 months.
That's how you are.
I don't know that we're out working everybody in the state of Tennessee, but I do know that our girls are working really hard, and we want them to believe we're outworking everybody. And I'm sure there's other
there's nobody working harder.
I don't think
there might be somebody work as hard.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's working any harder.
Right.
But when you get down to this elite group of teams, they're all having to put time in, and they got good players, and they have a program that's established. And we got some big pieces to fill, but knock on wood here, I'm counting on girls like Siler Falcon to improve tremendously.
And she did a lot this year.
Ashlyn Crittenden, I'm counting on big time next year.
Really
Sloan Carpenter, Hannah Jones, Carsey Weber could very well, she ought to be, if I was her, I'd be saying I'm getting that starting position, And then we got some girls in the background. I'm not going to mention every girl that in the program, but, the beat goes on. And we're having, I'm having 8th grade AAU practice tonight. Somebody said, "Don't you need a little time off?" I'm like,
"That's your livelihood."
I don't have a choice. You can't take very much time off if you want to keep going at this level. You got to keep it going, and I'd rather. I don't know any other way to do it. It's got to be all in. You can't have one foot in the water and one on the shore. You got to get both feet in the water, and we're going to keep fighting and working. And that's how razor thin it is. One play, one call, one shot, and we go to the next round. Of course, you got to win that one, and then you get you look at 19. It's special. It's been 40. What was it? 43 years.
43, yeah.
It's special. Things have to happen. You got to have the players, you got to have the work ethic, you got to have the system, you got to have the support, you got to have the finances, and things have to line up. When people win World Series, NBA championships, Super Bowls, special things have to happen.
It's not an accident.
Only one team is going to leave happy. And but now that I've had the chance to lick my wounds and reflect a little bit, I mean, I'm very proud of this bunch. They give me all they had. What else can a man ask of a bunch of girls and just give me all you got? After that, there's no lose. I mean, we just ran out of time. We didn't lose. We ran out of time.
That's right. We ran out of time there. Well, so one of these days, you and I are going to sit down and we're going to add up the number of youngsters that you put in college on a scholarship. Most in basketball, a few in volleyball, and so forth and all that. But 3 of your 4 seniors, and the 4th one could actually play college ball if she wants to, Jemiah.
Yeah.
The other 3 are going to play, get their education for free, so to speak, because they're playing on the scholarship.
Kelsey's been, the basketball coaches are begging her to play basketball too up there, but right now she thinks she just wants to do volleyball, but she may change her mind.
Doesn't it give you a good satisfaction, a good feeling, of satisfaction to say, hey, I had a part in this, and you say I had a small part. Well, you had a bigger part, and sometimes you realize, I think, because you're the guy behind the scene, and your coaches, with Keith and Amy and Adam all working together to make your team the best and be prepared for whatever scenario comes up. But it's got to be, if I were a head coach, I'd be proud, look at the kids we put in college, because you look around in our area, including Chattanooga, where there's not any schools that I can think of that put this many girls in college to play a sport around here. I mean, that just didn't happen. But.
Well, you're right, and we could go to different parts of the state. They have tremendous teams. Another Murfreesboro team won it,
Yep.
But yes, in this part of Tennessee, we're obviously putting out more basketball scholarship players than anyone. We get a lot of notoriety because of Ryan Howard at Kentucky, who's in the mix for Player of the Year in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just talk about the stars, but there's a whole lot of other. For every girl that goes and plays at that level, there's 10 that plays at a lower level. Lee University, you got to be pretty dang good to play at Lee University.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anna Mahonen could have bided her time and waited for some more offers. She had several offers, but look, Lee University, there's girls playing right there that could play at mid-major Division I teams, and so everybody gets this twinkle in their eye about the top of the upper echelon, the Power 5, but there's a whole lot more basketball out there, and our goal is to try to put a scholarship in one hand and hopefully a championship in that other hand, and we have won a lot of championships. We talk about the final gold ball, but I think it was our 11th district title in a row, 10 out of, now you're talking about blessed. I'm blessed. We've won 10 out of 11 regions.
Yes.
That's hard to do.
Yeah,
and
that's where it gets tough.
I'm not bragging. That shows you the caliber of girls that we've had. And we've won some of those. And if I remember beating Cumberland County in overtime up at Cookeville. We've been on the other side of this. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we forget how many close games we've won. We win a lot more close games than we lose over the history of the last 11 years.
Well, the single one game that comes to my mind this year, in one shot against Siegel, Kelsey Carmen.
Stewart's Creek.
Stewart's Creek. We're down in double overtime, and she hits that. She throws it in, it comes right back to her, and she hits a 3 right there in front of where you're standing, and we win the game. And that's a game that she'll remember for the rest of her life because of how it happened and who it's against and so forth.
Right.
Double overtime.
She'll remember that for the rest of her life. You're right.
But that's, to me, somebody said, what's one single play that you remember? That's the one play I remember. We've had some really, really good games. I think our game against Stone Memorial where we were just world beaters.
Yeah.
World beaters.
We'd beat anybody that night. We'd beat anybody.
Couldn't beat anybody. But those games like that come to mind. And those.
I remember we beat Cookeville in the elimination game in overtime by 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, semifinals.
Yeah.
Oakland game, sub-state, 5-point game.
Yeah. But all those games like that you win close because you're prepared. You've been there. Even when you're down there at the end the other night, they hit the shot and we got 3.5 seconds. You've got to play. You practice these plays.
Certainly, yeah.
For those kind of circumstances that come up because you never know when you will. And here you are in a state tournament game and that comes up and lo and behold.
Well, John Wooden had a quote. He said, "Failing to prepare is preparing to fail." Mm-hmm. So you've got to have something in mind. That board you see me over with the dry erasing marker, all that is just reinforced what we've already practiced.
Yeah.
That last play,
You wasn't just drawing it up right there on the spur of the
Carsey was
moment.
not the first option or the second, but she was the third. And we got it to her, and she had to throw up a 35-footer at the buzzer, but that's not what we really wanted, but that's what they gave us.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't what cost you the
Kelsey
game.
made a great pass.
Yeah, sure did.
She could have probably took one more dribble, but who's going to blame her for that? You know. But yeah, you're right. A lot of preparation, a lot of things behind the scenes. You know, it's entertainment. Sports is entertainment.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
there's a lot of life lessons that go on with this.
It entertained a lot of us, you know. For a long time, we didn't have fans in the stands, and we brought them back, and boy, they were all into it. Every game had a great crowd with us over at Murfreesboro and all that. Is there one takeaway from this season, you know, looking back, that you come up with, or about your seniors, or just anything in particular that you'd like to share with us today?
I'm not getting any younger, but I still enjoy it, and I don't have any plans anytime getting out soon, as long as I got girls. I think this year we're just reminding me, I guess, with all the stuff going on in the country and the world with COVID, and you know, we all have known someone that's died
Yeah.
or close to death. Some of us, I mean, I'm talking down here, somebody who's going to be watching this today, and they're going to get choked up about someone they've lost due to COVID. I think this year will resonate a little more in my memory because of, like I said in the start of the show, I think in some weird way, this year's team might have been a little tighter. Yeah, we didn't get to go to a Christmas tournament, and we didn't go to Naples or Phoenix, Arizona, but, you know, everybody needs a support group. And I got more out of this season probably from these girls than maybe they got from me.
It's like circling the wagon. Got to rally around.
You know what I'm saying is
together.
I had something to cling on to.
Yeah.
Of course, it's all I've known. I've lost all my skills as a farm boy. You know, I can barely use a screwdriver anymore. But I've been coaching so long that I'm saying that everybody needs something that they get up for every morning.
Yeah.
And this year, because of everything going on, you know, the riots and the COVIDs and this is something I got up every day and my mind went straight to basketball. I'm not saying I wasn't tired some days. I'm not saying I didn't get frustrated. I'm just saying it reminded me, don't take things for granted, because you're not promised anything. I got a good friend, Tim McPhail, up in Mint County, who's having surgery today.
Yeah.
And I would like everybody to pray for him. He's maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. I don't know. I've texted him on the phone. He's having a tumor removed today. This year has taught me, it's reminded me, don't take it for granted.
Yeah. I agree
Don't take
with
it for
you.
granted.
Yeah.
And guess what? Even though we lost by one, don't take that for granted. I know it seems second nature. We've been to 7 of these in 11 years,
Yep.
and won one of them. A couple Final Fours. I hope I'm not being negative, but that, you know, we're not guaranteed.
No, we're not.
We're not guaranteed.
27-2 is a fantastic year.
Yeah,
Fantastic
absolutely,
year.
yeah.
And the uncertainty, you know, of not knowing when we're going to play or what. And I hope next year we don't have to utter the word COVID, except maybe unfondly look back and say, hey, you know, that's behind us and move on.
Remember I had Anna in here, and I said, these girls, I forgot I had Anna and maybe Coach Tinsley, but I said, these girls will be talking to their kids and grandkids about the
I remember,
COVID.
yeah.
Just like we heard you know, you heard your dad or granddad talk about World War II or the Spanish flu, or
Yeah.
they'll be talking about this in 40, 50 years from now.
And I hope that's all we're doing, talk about it in this
Yeah,
kind of way. But
I hope so.
Next year, let's assume COVID's going to be behind us. I'm sure you're going to try to line up, you're going to get back with your Thanksgiving tournament again and get that rolling, and probably go somewhere for a nice Christmas, not a vacation, but a tournament.
It's a working trip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
a lot of teams are way ahead of us. You know, you got to remember we were the last 8 teams in the state. There's teams already making schedules. Us that made state tournament are a little bit behind, but yeah, I'm getting texts now. I'm in a group text. There's people already lining up their tournaments and games, and that's something I got to get on. Like, I need to be working on that today. Today.
Yeah.
Should have been working on it yesterday.
What are you doing here in this interview then?
I need to get off here, Gary.
Well, Coach, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it. All season long, you've been with us every week. We talk about what's going on, what's going to go on, and it's been fun to do all of these. And it's always fun when you're winning and having so much success like the Bearettes have had for many, many years under your leadership. And we hope it continues for many, many years. Like you talked about, we don't want to see you go anywhere. And I know there's nobody working any harder, and I know you expect that out of your staff, and I know you get that out of your staff. You know, they work hard, and I've talked to them many a time, and it's just you guys live and breathe basketball. And I know you don't do it year round, but it's a huge part of your life.
It is.
That's why it's successful.
Well, I think to be the coach here for the Bearett program, with it not tradition set long before me, Jim Smitty, and the tradition here, I don't think you can survive coaching girls basketball here unless you're all in.
The bar set pretty
Whoever
high.
takes over for me will have to be dedicated, because look, the guy before that had all these records, some people said, man, doesn't that kind of does that like overshadow, like you got this guy that, and I said, no, I relish that. I look forward to that. I want to emulate that.
Yeah.
I want to see if we can do what he did, and I think so far we've done a pretty good job of that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't argue with success you've had, and obviously we want it to continue and keep the Bears rolling right along. But it's been a great year.
Thank you for doing this show. Thank you for covering us on the radio. And Gary, I know you're biased, but you're a Bear all the way through, and I know that you love the Bearett program, and I want to thank you. And you know, I know we always got a friend in Gary Ownbey, and I don't think there's anything I could ask out of you that you wouldn't try to do. And the girls know that too. So thank you.
I appreciate your kind words there. I'd also like to thank Mr. Gwen Schroyer, who's helped us with all these all year long with his students back here in our studio on the campus, taking care of things and making it happen, putting it out there for social media to be shared by a lot of folks. And a lot of folks watch these, and they're always on the BCHS Bear Network on Facebook. They'll be posted to YouTube, and there'll be a link through Twitter that will come up, and for everybody to review these things and give us your feedback on that. But hope to continue this again next year. And Coach, glad to see that we had a great season. Feel a little bit shy, but only one team goes home happy. We went home happy the last time when the state was continued. We won it all. And I know your goal every year is to get back there, and let's hope we can do it again.
We're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on working.
Yep.
So let's make a date, same time next year, same place.
All right, let's do that. I'm game for that.
All right.
Until next time, this is Gary Ownbey being your host here on the BCHS Bear Network with head coach Jason Reuter of the Bearettes. As we wrap up this basketball season, until next time, we'll say God bless and go Bearettes.